finishing ability. So let's break down his finishing skills and what goes into make him so successful in the paint. So in this first one, he's going to get outside the hips of Jason Tatum. Now watch how he keeps the ball high with his elbows high above his shoulders. So if Jason Tatum does swipe down, he can finish through that contact at the rim. On all these examples throughout this finishing edit, you're going to see Giannis keeping the ball high and finishing through contact. So that is the first part here is his keep high finishes. So right here, he gets it above his chest into that finishing pocket right there with his elbows high, and he can finish through contact. Next, we have his spin move. So one of the tendencies when breaking down Giannis's film is when he starts driving left, he is setting up his primary defender to allow them to get a chest stop, and then he's going to spin back to his right hand. So it's one of his setup moves to go into his finish. Right here, you can see Jaylen Brown gets a chest stop, and he knows once he spins right here, the paint is open. So he can spin off, and he's right at the rim. And once he spins here, once again, Jaylen Brown gets that chest stop. Now he knows Grant Williams is right here. If he spins, he's got to go right into that little touch floater, which he's developed over the past couple of years. Set it up right here. Now watch how good he is with that live ball dribble. He's really developed this. Right here, you can see his hips are constantly flipping. Then he's going to take that dribble. He's going to spin off right there, and he steps through. He has great balance on his finishing moves. So watch this again. So once he spins right there, he gains his balance. Now his right foot is going to step through right there. He's going to use that left shoulder to take the contact and finish through. Spin right there, and he steps through again. You can see two things so far we've pointed out when he's finishing is his keep high finishes and then his balance. So right here, he spins off. Now watch his right foot right here, gets his balance, and then he's going to step right through and use that shoulder to finish through the contact. Next, we have his pound evasion finish. So he uses this a lot in transition. Now watch, the ball and his inside foot are going to hit at the same time. Then he's going to take a right, then a left step right here. He keeps the ball high and finishes through contact. And on these finishes, you're going to see two steps after the move. It is not a travel because when he gathers the ball, he can take two steps. Now watch how his shoulders shift with the pound evasion move right here. Now he's going to take a right step, a left step, longer steps, and then watch this slide by finish right there through the shot blocker. Once again, a pound evasion, and you can see he shifts his primary defender every single time. Right there, that ball and foot, his opposite foot jab right there to freeze his defender. Then he's going to get outside their hips because Al Horford opens up his hips right there. 1-2 steps right at the rim. And a lot of the time he uses this in all these clips, but if you go through the regular season too, he loves doing this move going to his right hand. Now we have his pound evasion Euro step. So the counter to the pound evasion, quick ball and foot hit at the same time. Then he's going to go right, left, Euro step right there with the longer steps to get around that defender. Watch this again. This is an excellent move and an excellent counter. Quick pound evasion, and you can see his shoulder sells it right there. And now watch his right foot go at the defender. His left foot's going to evade right there for the Euro step with the inside hand finish. Now we have his crossover jab finish. So the ball is going to go left to right. His left foot's going to jab where the ball came from. So left to right, you see Ja Morant use this a lot. Giannis likes to use it in transition. Then he's going to take 2 steps right there, get into the body of his primary defender, and finish through contact. Once again, right here, you can see he is starting his momentum because his primary defender is a couple feet off. So he's going to use this as his finishing move left to right. His left foot's going to jab right there. Then he's going to take 2 steps, and that inside step right there gets into the body of his primary defender so he can finish through that contact. Watch this one again. This is a perfect example of a crossover jab. Downhill, You can see he jabs right there. His shoulder moves with it. 2 steps, long steps. And that inside step every time gets into his primary defender. And he uses his strength to create that contact. Crossover jab with a quick roll, inside hand finish. Watch this again. He's going downhill, right to left. You can see he jabs right there. Now he uses that big left step, left, right, and he sneaks the finish in right there. Let's watch this again. Crossover jab, left, right, inside hand finish, and 1. You see, he attacks downhill, and he can get through the bump right there. This is a great example of getting through contact to finish. Crossover jab right there with this foot. Bump. And then he can get to the other side and finish through that contact for a reverse. Now we have his cross step. So once he starts his drive, he's going to go right, left, over top, and finish through his primary defender. This is a big-time James Harden finish when he was with the Rockets. So watch right here. His right foot goes over top. And once it goes over top, he can take another step and finish with his right hand. Starts his drive. Right foot cross steps over top. His left foot gets down. And then he can finish through the contact. This is a great move to use in transition and to finish versus your primary defender too.